It is hot as goddamn balls here. It's like 90 degrees inside this room. So I had to put in the window unit in hopes of cooling it down because it's so goddamn hot that I want to just throw myself off the roof, which actually would be really cool because there would be a breeze on the way down, and because I'd be falling 5 flights, heat rises. So the closer I get to the ground, the cooler I would be. But I do leave to go to Michigan tomorrow, to see my dog and my mom for a week. So I need to get this review done, and it encompasses 2 episodes. So I need to brave the heat so I can get this done and uploaded so the 2 of you who watch can watch it. Now listen, this was a 2-parter, but I'm not going to even focus much on the storyline that dominated the first part, because I feel like too much has been given to it, and so people way smarter than me have already discussed it, and I have been listening to things about it ad nauseum, which also kind of makes me feel like I have already discussed this, because I subscribe to a podcast called Here to Make Friends, which is a Huffington Post podcast. They had 2 episodes this week, one for each episode. They have discussed the stuff about Lee and Kenny. Last week they discussed the stuff with Lee and Kenny. The week before they discussed the stuff with Lee and Eric. I also subscribe to a podcast called Represented, and they've started doing a Bachelorette recap. It's hosted by a black woman, although she doesn't actually do the Bachelorette segments. Her producer does, who is another black woman named Veralyn. And she talks to, and I wish I knew this woman's name, but she's an academic. And the 2 of them discuss what's going on, and so I listened to that today, and that was also about all of this drama. And so I feel like it's been done. I don't know if I have anything more to add to it, particularly as a queer anthropologist, except to say that I am so glad that Kenny is gone, and that the producers should be absolutely burning in hell, aka my bedroom, with the heat, at the drama that they caused for Kenny and with this, with everyone else in the house. But one thing that I think does deserve attention is okay, so here's my theory, and this is where the queer me is really coming out to discuss. Okay, so here's my theory. Now, by the end of the 2nd episode, there are 6 men left, right? Okay, so we're down to the final 6. Which means after, I don't know if next week 2 go home or what, but we're coming up to hometowns, so it's getting very close. 6 men are left. Only 1 of them is a black man. Now, I'm not saying that Rachel, as a black woman, is beholden to having to pick a black man, but I do think it's really, really strange that out of all the quality men on this show, and they were quality men. You know how much I hate men, but on both sides of the racial divide, there were actually more than 2 races represented in the show this season. They were quality men from all races. But it is weird to me that Rachel is left in the top 6 with only 1 black man and 5 white men. Particularly because of the way that she reacted to Will before she kicked him off, because Will, a black man, said that he primarily dates white women, and Rachel had a very kind of visceral reaction to that. And I kind of wonder if he actually hadn't said that, if she would have sent him home, or if maybe she would have just she wasn't really feeling him. They had more of a friend vibe anyway, but she clearly did not like that he said that. And she directly, he justified it by saying that he grew up in a primarily white neighborhood, went to primarily white secondary schools and then college. And that's why he pretty much only dated white women. And Rachel kind of was like, well, I grew up in neighborhoods and schools like that too, and I still dated mostly black men. And I remember another point where she said, I think earlier, that she had never seriously dated a white man. And so the fact that at this point, based on her reaction towards Will, and based on her saying that she really hadn't dated seriously white men before, I do find it interesting that there's only 1 black man left. And so all of this to say is that 2 of the white men that she kept at the end of this were Matt and Adam. I am not exaggerating when I say every single time either of them shows up on the TV, I literally say in the darkness of my empty bedroom, who the hell are they? I have I literally forget who they are every single week. Now, it's because I listen to all these podcasts, I do get reminded, because I'm not the only one who has this situation. Literally, Every podcast that I've listened to about the show reaffirms that I'm right. And in fact, the writing that I've read write-ups about this season on Jezebel, all of them also confirm no one knows who these two men are. Now, some people are really savvy, and they've reminded us that Adam is the guy who had the doll in the first episode, and the doll follows them around. The doll's last appearance was in Norway. I think it was Norway or Sweden, one of the two. And then Matt apparently came the first day dressed in a penguin outfit. Now, since then, neither of them have left any impression. They have not had a one-on-one date. They have not even had a two-on-one or any small date with Rachel. They have been background in group dates, and yet they are in the top 6 over Anthony. And when she did not call Anthony's name at that rose ceremony, when I tell you that, again, in the darkness of my empty bedroom, I literally yelled aloud, "What the fuck?" She got rid of Anthony. Anthony, who's like gorgeous. He is. He's sweet. He's crazy smart. He got one of those, I don't know if it was a Rhodes Scholar. He's like one of those really prestigious like fellowships or scholarship awards he got. I think he studied at Oxford, for fuck's sake. She let him go. And the guy with the doll, she's kept. On top of that, you know, she let Kenny go. Kenny's gone now. And, you know, it was very mature the way that their breakup happened. You know, he was kind of like, listen, I need to kind of know if this is going anywhere because I have a daughter at home and I miss her so much. I need to know that I'm away from her for a purpose. And she's like, you know, I don't think this is really going to go the way that you want it. So you might as well go, but like in a really respectful way. And it was mutual. But Kenny is leaving before Matt or Adam. Even Josiah, who would be shit in a relationship, left before Matt or Adam, and that's shocking to me. Even Will, I think that if Will hadn't said that thing about only dating white girls, he probably would have been taken the place of either Matt or Adam. But I just find that crazy. So here's my theory, okay, and this is all alleged, okay. Rachel is a lawyer. I don't want her suing me on the off chance that she stumbles upon this during a 4 a.m., you know, pint of ice cream binge because she can't live with her choices. She's got to be a lesbian, right? Because how do you get rid of Anthony and Will and Kenny, Diggy a few weeks ago? How do you get rid of them? But seriously, especially Anthony, and keep Matt and Adam? How? How do you justify that? How does a straight person justify that? A straight person cannot justify that. They can't. A lesbian can justify that. I'll say like a bisexual cannot justify that either. Pansexual, no. Only a lesbian can justify that. Now this is all alleged. This is all allegedly. I think that Rachel is hiding something from us. And that's okay. You know, she'll come to her truth when she comes to it. But no woman who is interested in men and also is weirded out by the idea that no straight woman who dates, no woman who dates men is going to pass up Anthony for these two schmucks who literally have said no words to her at all. And no offense to Matt, I know this is superficial, but the Bachelor and the Bachelorette are superficial. That's the point. It's all about lust over love. The person who wins is ultimately the one that the lead wants to fuck the most. And hopefully there's some kind of a connection there beyond that. I'm sorry, but if you want to fuck Adam or Matt above Anthony or Kenny or Diggy or Jesus, she sent home Alex last week, a white guy, but Alex, and Alex left this week. Adam and Matt are still there. I'm sorry, but she's not straight. She's not straight. She's lesbian, allegedly. That's the only way we can justify this. So I just want to say, like, Rachel, it's okay. you can be who you are. You can. And you are a smart, funny, engaging, like, gorgeous woman. But when you come to your senses, when you come to your senses and realize who you are, that you were born this way and that's great and you are wonderful no matter who you are or who you do. I will be here for you. I'm a professional. I actually have a profession, which it goes beyond talking about The Bachelor and Bachelorette on a minusculely sized vlog. I have a real profession. I have a master's and a half. I shape the future. I travel. I have attachment issues, but don't we all have our issues? I'm incredibly loyal. I cook, but more importantly, I bake. I can play the piano, which means I have dexterous fingers. I have recently gone back to climbing, although I jammed my foot the other day, but it's healing, and by the time I can get back into the gym next week, it'll be fine. I have a basset hound, and I will show you all of her pictures. So I just, I'm eligible, and I don't think I'm that likable, and I'm even less lovable. God damn it. But I will be all I can be for you. You just need to have your come to Jesus sounds inappropriate for what I'm discussing right now, but you just need to have your moment of revelation. And not to brag, but I may not be likable or lovable, but I do lead women to newfound revelations about themselves in relation to their sexuality, or their rediscovering of their sexuality in that way. So I don't know, you just contact me. It's fine. It's cool, because at the very least, I'm cuter than Matt. I don't have a doll like Adam. And we all know that Peter's gonna win. Peter or Brian. I hope you pick Peter over Brian, because I don't think Brian he's not good for you. But I think I know what's in your heart, and it's not men. Otherwise, you wouldn't have gotten rid of Alex and Anthony. And so that's about it. Going again home for a week. But I'll watch the episode and maybe record an episode while I'm there. Maybe my basset hound will guest star. She's already guest starring on The Wall. Maybe in real life she will guest star. And we'll see you then. And remember, all of this is alleged. Please don't sue me. Is it slander? I think it's slander. Please don't sue me. Please, Rachel, I love you. I mean, it's a little intimate, but you're clearly gay, allegedly.